Steelers Nation. Boy, this is interesting. First time ever. We're going to be on Hard Knocks. Hit that like button one time for the culture and don't forget to subscribe. Let's talk about it. So we know Hard Knocks, the TV show, man, HBO. It's been going on since 2009, I believe it is, man. And they've done an absolutely phenomenal job of peeling back the curtain, allowing fans and just, people that aren't privy to some of the behind the scenes stuff, gives them opportunity to see that, right? The intimate moments, players dealing with, meetings, players when they are dealing with injuries, players when they're having to go through the transactional phase of being released, right, or signed, right? We see all of those type of things. You get a chance to see how they practice at times, right? All these different cool things, and it's done in a light that is not, team media. So, it's a little bit more authentic, a little bit more raw. And for some people, they love that. That's a big reason why Hard Knocks is as big as it is and has thrived for as long as it's thrived. Whether you're talking about when the Ravens did it back when it first started, I know I was a big fan when the Cowboys came on it. We obviously saw the Jets being a part of this as well, man. But it was something that for the Steelers, we never really had to entertain because the rule was as long as you don't have a losing season, you get to opt in or opt out of being chosen for Hard Knocks. So it was a great scenario for us because we know under Coach Tomlin, we don't have losing seasons. So don't even think about it, right? Well, because Hard Knocks has been evolving, they have no longer just kept it as they follow one team and it's just for the preseason, right? Now they've evolved to following teams in season. We saw that last year. I forgot specifically which team it was, but I know, let's see, in terms of preseason stuff, we've seen it on numerous occasions, and I know this upcoming season, we got a preseason version, and if I remember correctly, it's an off-season version, and then there's a training camp version, right? I know the Bears are going to be featured on one variation of them. I forgot the other team that's early on, but you can see how they're evolving. But also now they've added to the fact that you could pick a division, right? A whole division. And that's Hard Knocks work around some of these teams not having losing seasons. Shout out to the Steelers. So, of course, Hard Knocks was available, and they went and chose the AFC North, and they did it because of a couple of things. The big thing they talked about was the fact that last season, for the first time in NFL history, no team in the division had a losing record. So they said, man, if we're going to kick off our first ever following multiple teams in the season from a division, well, let's go ahead and start with what they were trying to say is the best division, and, I might say I agree with that. But that was the big part, right? Then from there, they talked about the intensity of the rivalries. You obviously know how us and the Ratbirds are, us and the Brownies, and you can't forget about the Bengals, right? So any of them squads, they know their little brother, and they know that now he's got to get worked with having the camera a little bit more, catching some of that behind the scenes stuff. So we ain't tripping on that, man. It's good for the brand. But they also talked about the quarterbacks too, and rightfully so. You got a Lamar Jackson, a Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson. We know Russ is here, Justin Fields is here. It's just a lot of narratives and a lot of eyes on those players this season, and rightfully so. But then you also have Baltimore. They talked about trying to see if they could get over the hump, avenge their loss from last year. Oh, if Joe Burrow returns, can they get right? We all know y'all competing to be our backups. We get it. But those are the big things that they kind of talked about, man. In terms of why they chose the AFC North, we get it. Now, in terms of do we like it or not, I'm torn. Part of me is like, man, I love the fact that it's going to get a chance to just put more of a human element to some of the people that we love cheering for that we don't always get a lot of coverage on. TJ Watt being one of the guys that jumps off my head just in the sense of we don't get a lot of media from him. So it is going to be kind of cool to see, not for you, right, for me, but for you guys, at least to see some of his work ethic, some of how he prepares, how he gets his mind right for stuff, for the game, stuff like that. I think it'd be really dope to see that, man. He's just one of the guys, right? You obviously got the quarterbacks, and we got some big names now, man. So all of that, I think, it's very exciting and enticing. But the thing that I don't like is it's a distraction. You know, it's extra camera crews being around in intimate places where you typically don't have cameras. You have that internal battle of, okay, am I going to try to engage to build a brand up and, you know, see where this goes? Or do I want to, you know, not engage that, and now it's more of an inconvenience to me? Those are some of the things that, you know, instantly jump off my head. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, we still make transactional moves roster-wise in the regular season. Man, these are grown men with families, with hopes and dreams, and I am not a fan of when it gets exploited on camera. It's no different if, hey, I went to, you know, wherever the viewers are watching, right? If your place of employment and, you know, if you happen to not have your best day and you were to get fired, if we just had a camera crew on you watching you walk in, get fired, walk out, and then we talk about it on social media, that's the thing that I am not a fan of in the least bit, man. So, like I said, man, that's the, you know, some of the things that I do like about it, some of the things I don't like about it. But you guys let me know your thoughts on HBO choosing the AFC North for Hard Knocks in season. Now, in terms of how to view it, it'll be on HBO Max. It'll be on, or it'll be on HBO Plus in regular, I think, Max for streaming. But we won't see any of this content until December 3rd, if I remember correctly. I think that was the date. So, like I said, man, let me know your thoughts on it, though, man. If you're excited about it, if you like it, if you hate it, and if you're gonna be tuning in. But either way, you know I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, peace.